What's up, everybody? Sorry about the rough start. We did move this stream from yesterday to today. I'm still in my auxiliary, secondary, whatever you want to call it, office. Um, so, anyways, here we are with another Ask Tim. You guys got to put your questions in the chat. And if you're on YouTube, it works on there. Unfortunately, right now, it does not support the chat bot that collects these questions does not support anything other than YouTube. And I should probably put my phone on silent here because it's whining here. So let me. I just switched phones. Hang on. It's having a little difficulty there. It's still like installing crap. So, anyways, yeah. So I was hoping to install. My desk and everything and get it all up and running, but we are not there yet. And I was going to post a little teaser, but I feel like, do you guys want to just see the new space once it's done, which should be next week? As in, like, I'll get it done probably tonight, but in terms of next stream. Or do you guys want a little peek, or should I just post some little sneak peeks in our call to TH3D for our channel members? What do you guys think? I haven't been posting too much on the TH3D stuff. I have posted some stuff on my personal, like Facebook stuff, but anyways, I'm trying to think if there's anything relevant and new. There is actually. I do have some stuff to share with you. I think I'll tease it with the call to my little insider crew. How's that? But I am going to show you guys. I'm still like, so I'm used to having 3 screens in front of me with the TV above me for like my security camera and stuff. And I have an ultra wide and a 27-inch here, so I'm navigating of where I want to put my windows is throwing me off because I'm used to having all these screens to snap windows to the edges on. And I don't have that with the ultra wide. So I'm shuffling things around, but I do want to show you guys, if you're wondering about the tough extruders, we do have our little Pancake Titan hybrid V2. And I have one photo here that I'm going to tease here. And I want to give a shout out to Kevin from Westar getting our labels done in a very quick, timely manner here. Hang on one second. Why is this not working? Why the hell is this not working? Main L? There it goes. Okay, hang on. I was very confused. So here is the new Tough Extruder V2. This is the version 2, and you can see it kind of looks like a Pancake. It is a dual drive, so if you guys are used to dual drives, it is similar. It's not a Pancake clone. It takes things from the Pancake and the Titan, and I will be posting photos and a new assembly video showing this, but there's a lot more going on the inside, and we got 2 really high quality gears inside to do the dual drive gearing, as well as a geared. So this is just the top and the bottom shell. There's nothing else shown here. There is a little feed gear, but if you notice here, this is my favorite part about this new design is we have a notch out here, and you guys might, like the regular Pancakes do not have this. This allows you to put this on most of your Creality machines with no adapter piece. So the Tough Extruder V1 was a Titan clone because that was an open source design. And I still like them. I still use them on most of my printers. But as they go out, which it takes years apparently, I've got some that are 3 years old, I'll be putting these on. And these allow you to put them on most printers, especially Crealities, with no adapter pieces. So like on the Titan style ones, you'd have to use like a 90-degree angle adapter and put it towards the back. These will fit directly in to the stock location, and this is a cutout for the lead screw, so it doesn't hit it. It's a nice little touch, and I think this is a great successor. We've been testing these for a couple months now, have had no issues. They're great, so I think they're worthy enough to be called the V2. We do have stuff for, oh, there we go, my stream desk wearing. So this is a piece for our new multi-mount system that we will also be pushing ahead with at the end of next week. So the Tough Extruder V2 will be coming out for official sale. We have them. They're ready to go. They're already QC'd. They're already inspected. I just have to take product photos and make a video to show you guys how to use them and install them. Now, obviously, it's pretty self-explanatory for many, but it's not for all, and I like having proper documentation for all our stuff. We're not one of these companies that's just like, here's a piece of hardware, figure it out, and we also don't offer tech support. That's not how we do stuff here. We want to have stuff as complete as possible before we go ahead and launch it. So the Tough Extruder V2 will be launching next week. I want to have it, my personal goal is to get it up on the site with the new video on how to assemble it by Tuesday. And then through the rest of the week, we're going to work on getting everything done and ready to go for our multi-mount system. So the multi-mount system is basically going to be focused around mainly Creality printers that have the hot ends that mount with the 2 screws through the heatsink, which is most Creality machines. So your Ender 3s, your 4s, your 5s, your 6, your CR10S Pro. We even have adapter plates for the CR10 V2 and V3 to allow you to use this new multi-mount system on the CR10 V2 and V3. You know, your CR10. So it's going to cover a wide gamut. Anything that uses the groove mount that attaches to the printer with that groove mount, like the V6 or the Revo or the Mosquito. What's the other one? The Fadus Dragonfly, the BMO, I think it is. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but the BMO is like the V6 compatible. So it's a mount system that's all metal, machined in the US here, that will make a very solid mounting system. And because it's metal, it's not going to have to worry about breaking or sagging. And all the printed stuff to mount, like fans and ABL sensors and other stuff. We're even going to have direct drive adapters too. So the Tough Extruder V2 will be able to be slapped on the top. Along with, I think, correct me wrong, I know Tor's in here. Did we get one for the Titan/Tough Extruder? But I know we got some for a bunch of other extruders, but this is a system we're going to be continually building on. So it's not going to be a groove mount system if you want to run Bowden, but also we're going to have adapters to put many of the popular direct drive systems on. And we'll also have a place on our site where you can request, hey, I'd like to see this extruder supported, but like we will have at launch support for our own Tough Extruder and other ones that are similar in alignment to where they feed the filament out, like the Bondtech. So yeah, Clemco, we're actually, the guy that designed the Clemco adapter, he is wanting to get out of selling that directly. So he's manufacturing the mounts for us, and it's going to be our own branded thing. All of the accessories around the mount. So all the adapter arms, like even this top strain relief piece, this was based on his design. We've gone ahead and revised this so it's stronger. All of the printed parts to add on to the machined aluminum part, and this is again made in the US, are going to be all ABS plastic. And if you're a customer that purchases our TH3D mount from us, our multi-mount, meaning you get the metal mount, you will also get access to all of our STL files. So we will not be providing the STL files that we've designed and spent, company time and money testing to put stuff on, unless you actually bought the adapter from us. We will have the STLs available if you did purchase the Clemco branded one. You will be able to purchase those separately. So if you already have like a Clemco one, but the reason we're not putting them out for free is there's a lot of Chinese companies that already knocked off the Clemco branded one. And I do not want customers that bought the knockoff ones profiting and getting a better experience than people who actually paid us money for our hard work. So there's a lot of stuff. We've been working on this internally for what, almost 2 months, Tor? We've literally revised every single part. The only thing that we have basically kept as the original design is the metal mount itself, and those are still being made here in the USA. All the printed parts that we'll have offered, so you can print your own, but we will be offering all the printed parts in ABS here, and we're printing them here in the US with Coex US made plastic. So I will also be doing a stream with my Ender 5 Plus, where we'll be putting the Tough Extruder on the Ender 5 Plus, that's a new Tough Extruder V2, as well as the multi-mount system with a Mosquito Magnum. So I dropped some coin and I got a Mosquito Magnum. We're going to put that on the Ender 5 Plus, and I'm going to do before and after prints, because right now that printer has the stock Creality hot end with our all metal heat break, the bimetal one we have, our Easy Flow 0.6 nozzle, and our Tough Tube. So I'm going to be printing out test prints with the stock setup I have on there, basically the stock hot end with our upgrades on it. And then I want to compare it to the Slice. So we have the Mosquito itself. We got their 0.6 copper nozzle. I got their the PT1000 thermistor. I got their 50-watt heater. I got their fan. So I'm using all of their stuff for the hot end and the groove mount adapter. So there won't be any of this. Well, you guys didn't use their thermistor or their heater cartridge. So I bought all of their stuff. I spent over $250 just to test this out and do a direct comparison. But Slice makes good stuff. I'm actually pretty excited to get that on there. So, but yeah, this is my secondary office here. I do a lot of clerical stuff and, stuff that doesn't require me working on electronics or printers. And this is still on my same property. This is just in the basement. So I have two setups, and it's nice because right now I'm working on the other one. So hopefully next week we'll be back in the new old location. Let's see if we got questions here. We should. And who's going to be the first one? Oh, I got to check the form. I don't think I opened up the giveaway form because today is a new month. So I knew I was going to forget something. I've literally been working on the office. I've been working on the office for a couple days straight now. So everything else has kind of gone by the wayside. Let me make a new form for June, and then screw it. Let's go ahead and pick a winner from last month because it is now June. So let me see downloads here. I got my giveaway file here. Where is it? Hang on. I'm not sure if I like an ultra wide versus multiple screens because just snapping windows is not as intuitive with the ultra wide. If anybody's got a solution for that, let me know. I have like a program on here. I think Doug, my brother, told me about, and I like hold down shift and it gives me like segments. I think it's a power toy, but it's not the same. It's just not the same. So let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and pull a winner for the May giveaway. And I'll give you guys a link to the, I'll give you a link to the new one. All right, we're going to go wheelnames.com. And can we switch? There we go. Look at these, like, basic names they give us. All right, so I'm going to copy in everybody's names here from the giveaway. Looks like we got 193 entries from last month. Go ahead and paste these in here. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and shuffle them up a couple times. How's that? And we're going to go ahead and we're going to spin it. All right, let's see. It's trying to decide who's going to win. Oh. James Smallwood. So you guys don't have to be present to win. We do this every month, so I will be making another giveaway form in just a second here. I just duplicated the May one. And James Smallwood. So I think Krista, you're watching. She's our social media manager. Please make a note that James Smallwood won the May giveaway. So I'm gonna do. We're gonna do this. We're just do a June one, and we give away a $150 gift card to our store every single month. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the new URL here, and I'm gonna post it in chat. So there's the new one if you guys want to enter, and then I'm going to. I'm gonna go ahead and update the URL. So giveaway.th3dstudio redirects to this URL, but since I just made it, the redirect might be cached. So that is the direct link to the form. I'm all about subdomains and using them for ease of access and ease of remembering. So I don't think I see James in here. All right, so let me update that redirect real quick, and we're going to get to the questions because that's what we're here for. So you guys can ask questions about anything. It doesn't have to be our products. It's cool if it is, but it does not have to be our products. Anything related to FDM printers, and I will do my best to answer your guys' questions. So if you answer a question, the bot will pick it up, and it will tell you that it got your question. Do not spam with the same question. If I see you spamming with the same question, I will just remove it. And I will not answer your question because it's rude. So don't be rude. All right. So let's see. So you guys need to answer question or put questions. You can do it while I'm talking. So just make sure to put exclamation point Q in front. Tor and Krista, you guys, if you guys see people posting questions on other platforms or not following direction, please just copy and paste and enter it to the queue. So anyways, yeah, I'll do it in the chat just so if everybody's clear. So you have to type exclamation point Q What is my question? So like this, exclamation point Q, literally right here. I don't know why people have a hard time saying this. So you see, I just typed that there, TH3D Studio. I said exclamation point Q. What is my questions? And then the bot replies to you. So you see, it'll reply, thanks, you got 10 points for asking a question. It's been added to a queue. So pretty simple. So I feel like I should have like a button that I press, and it's like a pre-recording of me saying the same thing over and over again. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's see. The first one is from Mitch Minton, and he's asking, is there a recommended cable chain solution for the CR10S? I don't have one. Does anybody in chat have any recommendation? I have not messed with aftermarketly putting on a cable chain onto a printer in a while. I did on my ANET A8, and it was kind of a pain. My thing is, and this is me personally, if a printer didn't come with it, I'm probably not going to put one on it, because usually it's not really designed in a way that's easy to do it. But you know, people are going to be modifying the printers, and that's great. But yeah, I don't really mess with it. I just do some cable management. But I know there's probably add-ons to put it on there. The CR10 is a popular enough printer. But if anybody has anything that could point them in the right direction, if you've actually done it yourself, go ahead and post it in either the live chat or the live streams channel on our Discord server. Larry Russo's asking, he's going to try the PT1000 on his EasyBoard V1. What needs to be changed in the firmware? So you're just going to tell it the thermistor number. So I'm assuming you're probably using the same one that I just bought from Slice. And I don't know the number off the top of my head, but there is, I feel like I'm getting deja vu. Like I feel like I answered this already, but in our firmware, and this goes for not just our EasyBoard, anything with our unified firmware, there's an option called known temp sensor, and there's an option like that for the bed and the hot end, and you just got to figure out what number it corresponds to in Marlin, and we have a list of what thermistor like numbers our Marlin build is using. It's on our site, and I'm going to pull it up. So I just go to our help center and type thermistor. It should pull up thermistor values for Unified 2 firmware, and you can see here, this is below is a listing for the Marlin base we're using for the Unified 2. Any of the thermistor value numbers can be entered into the known XXX, XXX being better hot end. And these are all the ones we support. So like for example, I'm gonna need to do this for mine when I put on my Ender 5 Plus. My 5 Plus actually has a V1 Easy board in, so I would go to Slice. Let's go to Slice Engineering. Like I'd probably go here, I'd go to their product, be like, okay, I know I bought the thermistor from them. I don't think this is it. I bought the RTD one. Here. So this, what do they say to use? So they're usually pretty good. If you're buying it from a Chinese vendor that doesn't give a crap, they usually won't tell you what thermistor number it is. But I'm looking here. I'd be surprised if they didn't have anything easily listed on here. Or do they have a knowledge, do they have a knowledge base? I thought it just said something about Duet. More information can be found here. Oh, okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Man Slice, you let me down. I'll be completely honest, you let me down. Wait, let's see. Questions. Slice. Why are your thermistor numbers not listed? This I'm a little disappointed. I'm gonna have to like send them a message. Be like, hey. So like if you search for our thermistors, so we sell thermistors, we sell just basic ones. I literally tell you right here, use Marlin number 1. This is what should be on these. I don't know why this doesn't tell you. Now, here's the thing. I could go, okay, it's a PT1000. So I go in here and just search PT1000. That's not it. Analog RTDs. So I believe I'd probably use 1010. And see how the temperature is, or 1047, but I thought it was a different one. Yeah, it looks like it's either a 1010 or 1047. So there's two PT1000s. Now, the thing is, they should be telling you, just like we do, what thermistor number. I'm assuming, hang on, resources, let's see. They have documentation, they have knowledge base. Why do you guys have both? Documentation, assembly, installation instructions. This is for the Mosquito. This is not making them look very good. I actually had really high hopes that they would actually have their shit organized, but they apparently don't. It should be linked on the product page. Let's see. PT. Nothing in their knowledge base. That's not it. Slice, why you gotta let me down like this? You guys charge out the ass for your shit. Oh, here we go. How do I update my firmware to be compatible with RTD PT1000? Here we go. When charging or when compiling Marlin, choose temperature sensor 1047 if you are not using a max 31865 amplifier. So yeah, so that would be our case. So 1047, and that should hopefully correspond. Yep, 1047. With a 4.7K pull-up. Most boards have a 4.7K pull-up on their thermistor, so that's what I would use. I believe our easy boards use the 4.7K. But it's really easy to tell if you flash the firmware and the temperature's completely off, change to the other one. And that goes with any board. Again, hey, Slice, I'm really disappointed that you guys did not literally have a link to this page on your stuff here. Like, unless I'm missing it. Am I missing this? Like, where is the where's the link for this? You guys should have a link here. Just, hey, use this number for Marlin. It's pretty stupid, in my opinion. Our little crappy thermistors that, like, you know, call them crappy, but they're just basic. They're basic 100K thermistors. That's what most people use. And we literally have right here in the first, couple lines, use Marlin number 1. Use Marlin number 1. Like, I'm seriously going to send them an email. Be like, your guys, this page sucks. Like, I'm paying $30 for this. I shouldn't have had to hunt for that. How long was I looking for that information? Like, I'm a little disappointed. If I'm paying a premium, take 2 seconds and put your goddamn documentation link on here. Like, come on. I'm not cutting anybody any slack. Anyways, let's not go into a rant. I'm disappointed that their documentation sucks. You're no better than Big Tree Tech. It should be linked on the damn product page, or just put on there. If you're using Marlin, use this. Yeah, anyways, where's our, I wanted to see what other lists I had for ours. We're getting down a rabbit hole. We're going to get off that rabbit hole. All right. Carlos says, my Solval stock Marlin came with a retraction menu. How do I enable it in the unified firmware? I'm assuming they're probably using some sort of firmware retraction, but we don't support that, so you're on your own. I don't have an answer for you. There's a lot of features in Marlin that are there. We don't, like, disable them. They're just not enabled or presented. But yeah, I never use firmware retraction. It's very complicated. I don't know, unless you're talking about somewhere else, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, for filament change, that's a different thing. But you're talking about firmware retraction. We don't support that or have settings for that in our firmware, just because it's a very fringe use case type of feature. Let's see. The Dominic version said the creator of the Positron V3 has released design files, bomb, technical data. If anyone wants to sell kits, any thoughts? Is this like another Voron fad where people are, you know, building printers from scratch, or what is that one? Oh, it's that weird upside down one. Yeah, I have no interest in doing stuff like that. That's way too much support and way too niche of a product. It's not worth the time. Let's see. Rich G says, stepper motor came with a max amp rating. How do I convert that to volts in the VREF? So there are ways, if you look it up, to determine what your VREF should exactly be set at to run the max current. What I'll do is, because it really depends on how you're using it, is set the VREF to like somewhere in the midpoint. So like if you're on an easy board where you can set the current digitally, as in like some boards, I don't have boards laying around here because I don't have that stuff down here in this office. But some boards you actually have to take a screwdriver and a multimeter and adjust the VREF manually. If that's the case, I would start at like a 0.4, 0.5 volts and see how much torque you have. And by that, I mean, if it's on the X or Y, see how hard it is to get the motor to lose a step by engaging the motor and then pushing on it. Or just run a print and see if you lose steps. That's the easiest way to do it. I can do it by feel because I've been dealing with printers for years, in terms of determining, okay, I have enough current going to the motor, or I don't have enough. If you have too much, the motor is going to overheat. So basically you want to set the VREF high enough so that you don't lose steps, but you also don't have the motor overheating. So that's literally how I do it. I don't have any special formula. It's all by feel and just checking. Okay, I ran an hour and a half print. The motor's warm, but it's not burning hot. That's usually what you want. Because the thing is with VREF, if you set the current too low, you're going to lose steps. If you set the current too high, the motor's going to run too hot and potentially overheat. You're probably not going to damage the driver by setting it too high. Most of them will go into a shutdown mode if they're putting out too much current because you set the VREF too high. But you can damage the motor if it runs too hot. Now, stepper motors are designed to run hot. Even the cheaper ones, they can handle 60, 70, 80 degrees Celsius temperatures without you having to worry about damaging them. But in general, your motors should just run warm. They shouldn't be too hot where if you put your finger on them, you're going to be like, and pull away really quick because it's burning hot. So, and the other thing to complicate, I can't be like, oh, set it to 1 volt or set it to half a volt or set it to whatever. If you have a manual adjustment type of VREF setting, like on the Creality boards or some older boards where they don't have the digital control, because the voltage that is read off on the potentiometer can vary based on the vendor that made the board and the driver that's on the board. So I always do it by feel, running prints, and then monitoring the temperature of the stepper driver. So basically, if my motor's not overheating and I'm not losing steps, I know I'm at the correct VREF. Now, if you have a digitally controlled board like our EasyBoard V1 or V2, where you can set in the firmware for like an X or Y, I usually start around 600 to 700 on the current, so 0.6 to 0.7 amps. If it's on the Z with a single Z motor, I'll usually set it to around 0.6 to 0.7. If I'm running 2 in parallel, I'll usually run it at about 1.0 for the motor current. And then if I'm on an extruder, if it's a Pancake stepper, I'll usually do about 0.6 amps, so 600 on the current setting. If it's a full-size stepper motor, I'll usually do about 800 or 0.8 amps. And then again, run a print, see if you're losing steps, see if the temperatures are, too high, meaning you can't keep your finger on it. And I would say that's probably around the 60 to 70 C range if you have a actual, thermal camera or an infrared gun. But basically you want to have enough current where you don't lose steps, but not too much where you overheat the motor. So, I'm sure some neckbeards could find some, charts or forums online where you can put your exact driver and your core resistance and all this stuff. I don't do any of that. I literally do it all by what I said, running prints. Am I losing steps? Okay, I am. I'm going to bump it up a little bit, so let's say I have my X at, I replaced the motor on my X and it's at 0.5 amps, or 500, on the current setting if I'm using a digital control and I'm losing steps. I'll usually then go up 100. So I'll go from 500 to 600 milliamps, so 0.6. Okay, am I losing steps now? Okay, I'm not losing any steps, and the motor's just lukewarm. We're good then. So how do you tell if you're losing steps? So if you're on, if it's on the X or Y, that will present itself as what is known as a layer shift, meaning I really got to set this timer to be a little more aggressive here. Or not aggressive, less aggressive. Because it uses this camera over here as a motion sensor, and I don't move enough to trigger it. Anyways, so if you are losing steps in the X and Y, you will get what's called layer shift. So it'll look like somebody just like literally shifted the whole layer off the print. So if you got, your layers sitting on top of each other, nice and tight like this, and you lose steps, it'll be shifted. So that's what a layer shift would be, and that can present itself on X or Y. On Z, what'll usually happen is you'll just get all your layers squished together, okay? If you're losing steps. And then on the E motor, what'll usually happen is you'll just get under extruder or under extrusion, and you can tell really easily just by looking at the motor while it's printing, especially if it's doing like a long straight move or a curve move where it's continually extruding. The motor should be nice and smooth and consistent as it's extruding. If you see it like shaking where it's like trying to feed and it's like bouncing back, that means it's losing steps. So let's see. This person entered the question like 3 times, so we're gonna get rid of those. Kyle says, would you recommend the regular extruder stepper motor or Pancake stepper motor? It depends on your application. If you're doing a direct drive and you have a geared extruder, meaning like Titan, or aka our Tough Extruder V1, or something like our Tough Extruder V2, which is a geared one, and you're doing direct drive, I would then recommend doing a Pancake. The only time I've switched out a Pancake or a regular motor to a Pancake is on the Ender 6. It has this long motor that just doesn't run well. And switching to a Pancake fixed the extrusion issues with it. But in general, if you have a standard size motor and you're running a Bowden setup, meaning you got the Bowden tube going between the hot end and the extruder, it's not really worth it. The main reason to go with a Pancake over a standard size motor is if you're trying to save on weight. So if you have a direct drive setup where the motor is on the actual print head, your X carriage, you want that weight to be lower so you can reduce your rain. Now, it's not a huge night and day difference, but people do typically want to keep the weight down on their hot end. So in that case, if you're running a geared extruder and you're setting it up as a direct drive, then definitely, I personally think it's worth spending the extra like $15 to get a Pancake stepper motor because it's going to reduce the weight. So, yeah. Craig Williams, any chance like a Corelli Sprite extruder will be added to Unified 2? I don't know what you mean by adding it because we don't have specific extruder settings. We give you the option to be able to set whatever steps per millimeter you want. So you would refer to the documentation. It's Creality, so I doubt they'd give you any. You might have to manually determine your E-steps, but we don't pre-program extruder steps per millimeter or motor directions for aftermarket extruders into the firmware. So you would just set the steps per millimeter and possibly your motor direction once you have that installed. Okay, I think we should be back. We are now running on our backup internet because Comcast went down. Yep. Hopefully the 5G is working. Let's find out. Let's see. We're at 50 milliseconds ping. My down is only 100. But we should be good on the up. It looks like we're kind of unhappy. OBS is showing red. This is why I pay, I pay Comcast literally $130 a month for internet, and then I also pay T-Mobile $65 a month because the chances of both of them going down at the same time is highly unlikely, but I'm not even joking. So yeah, we have a 5G line for backup because literally I don't have, Can you guys hear me? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn off my Comcast modem because it's up and down and it's coming up just long enough. It's coming back up just long enough for my router to fail shit over. Cable modem sides also take a shit. We should be able to ride the rest of the stream out. So I have a Unify UDM Pro and I have dual WAN connections, and what's happening is the Comcast is coming back just enough for the Unify to go, oh, this connection's back, we're gonna fail back over. But then it goes down again and we switch back. So I have a Wi-Fi outlet on my cable modem because I don't want to have to go and reboot it manually. So I just turned off my modem. So we're just gonna force over to the T-Mobile. And what was I talking about? We were talking about What were we talking about? My bot stayed connected the whole time. What were we talking about? I know we're back. Everything looks good. T-Mobile. I'm not a big fan of you as a cell provider, but I do have faith that you can provide good service where I'm not moving. Can I set the time when the WAN fails back over again? I could through automations. We'll go over that. Remind me before we wrap out. I'll show you guys what I do with Home Assistant and what I just did. So we shouldn't have any interruptions unless T-Mobile decides to also shit the bed right now. Yes, Ender 6 plates are back in stock. Forgot to mention that. We just got a bunch of flex plates back in stock. So if you guys were waiting on stuff, they're getting restocked right now, if not already. Anyways, damn Russians. Yes. Let's just let's do what all the cool kids do these days. We're just gonna blame the Russians. So damn it. Damn Russians. All right, let's get back on track. What were we talking about? I don't know what we were talking about. Were we talking about extruders? No, I feel like we moved on from that. I don't know. We're just gonna move on. I'm sorry. Next one. Jay Santiago says, I recently ordered my first pancake steppers. Okay, TLDR. If you're running direct drive and you have a geared extruder, put a pancake on it. That's it. If you're not running a direct drive extruder, then use the stock motor if it works. If it doesn't, then change it out. TLDR. Anyways, so Jay Santiago said he ordered my first laser engraver and pre-ordered, so all I'm thinking about, I haven't spent much time on my 3D printers. Is that cheating on my printers? It might be a little, but I am kind of excited to get my office, the other office set back up that's in the garage. This is in the basement. The other one you guys are seeing, I don't know if many of you guys know this. Did you guys know that that other office that I stream from was in my garage? And behind me was actually my garage door. But anyways, I have an Atom Stack X7 Pro that I'm going to be playing with next week. They sent it to me for review, and I'm sorry, Atom Stack, if you guys are watching. They sent it to me right when all the divorce crap was starting up, and it's just been, I'm trying to get my life back in order right now. Yes, I will still be doing it. I do think in general, because Sean has been playing with the first Atom Stack they gave me, and I did really like the first Atom Stack they gave me, I do think they make good lasers. So I would definitely recommend, if you guys are in the market for like a diode laser, Atom Stack seems to make good stuff. So, all right. Next question. Marcel says, I want a Robin board that fits a KP1. Do you have any stock? If not, where can I find one? Two, I don't know where you could check it. If it was me, I would go on AliExpress or eBay, sadly. I don't know of any local places that sell this stuff. Check Amazon. A lot of the Chinese sellers sell stuff on Amazon. Yeah, switching that board out would be kind of a pain. I do have a KP3S King Rune that if you guys are local, I will not be shipping it. If you guys are local, let me know. And because it's got some upgrades on it, but I want to get rid of it. Just because I don't use it. I'm cycling printers out. No, it still says I'm streaming. No. Stream. I paid my T-Mobile bill. Do me like this. Son of a bitch. I'm showing red on my side right now. I see my bot still remaining connected. I guess it's just text. Whatever. It's... I am on the 5G. Okay. Well, we're just yeah. What is it, Bill? Was it Bill Maher or whatever? I don't know. The old meme. Fuck it, we'll do it live. I'm just gonna keep going. Hopefully, if you guys see it, you guys will see it. I'm gonna see what's going on here. Okay, it looks like Comcast finally figured its life out, even though my speed... Oh, literally. Literally, as soon as I say, see this? See the ping stop replying for a sec? I'm showing my IP. My IP is public anyways. It does not matter. Let's see. Speed test finally decided to go through. I guess I was trying to figure out what server to use. Show me my IP. Oh no, it hurts when IP. Don't dox myself. It's almost like my firmware is hosted here at my house, so. Let's see. If I ping easy firmware.ts3dstudio.com, guess what? You get my same IP. I run a proxy server here. Yes, you see that? Same one. Same one. Bam. I don't care. I wish we could go fiber. All right. I'm gonna keep on going. I will survive. Do I get a good luck kitty?
You do get good luck kitty.
Do I get a good luck kitty? Are you a little purring whore? She is purring like crazy. Oh my goodness. Yeah. You probably can't hear her because of the noise cancellation, but she's purring like a little demon child. All right. Yeah, we're not getting DDoSed. It's just Comcast. We're not that special. I do have stuff. I do have stuff in place at my router level to thwart that kind of stuff, and that's not what's happening here. So, my UDM does a good job. If Comcast would just do a good job, they're great. Anyways, back on track. We're going to try to finish this up for once and for all. I don't even know how long I've been streaming for because it's been broken up so many times. OBS says we've been streaming for 17 minutes. 59 minutes? Okay, well, I'm sure like a third of that is us trying to figure out how to get the internet working. Tom West says, I'm Ender 3. How can I change the prepare PLA to a different temp for the bed and nozzle temp? So if you have a board that has extra memory, you can do it from the LCD. If you have a board like the 1284p or even some of the, well, Ender 3, you probably have either 1284p or a 32-bit. If you have the 1284p, you're going to have to do it through the firmware, which involves modifying the source code, which is not something quick. But if you have a 32-bit board, you can do it through your configuration settings on the actual LCD itself. The reason you can't do it on the 1284p, at least with our firmware, is because that is considered an extraneous feature, and that board has such limited memory, we strip away stuff like that so you can fit actually usable things, and things that actually, you know, give you like more features like automatic bed leveling or PID tuning, that kind of stuff. Tech Tinker, do you have anything new that works with the Ender 3 S1? Also, have you put your EasyABL on yours? If so, have you seen a big difference? So I have we don't have anything new right now for the S1, but I have my EasyABL Mini on mine. It's been working great. It was sitting right here, but we took it to a show, and I'm probably putting it in my main office upstairs as one of my main printers. Like I said, I did think it was a decent printer. I just thought it was overpriced for what you got, but I do like it. So... I see my Google Home refreshing itself, which usually means the internet's being weird. Hopefully it's just the Google Home being weird. Huh? Huh? You can't get on the Wi-Fi. Yeah. You should, it's all the same network. I don't know. Maybe I gotta reboot my UDM. I have no idea. We'll find out. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up in a sec. So, Tech Tinker, yeah. What? Oh, so no, I don't have anything new for the S1. It's been working well. Like I said, my only concern with it is the repairability or lack thereof once things start wearing out, but we'll find out, but I'm going to use it. Yeah, I still would prefer an upgraded Ender 3 Pro over the S1 for the price, unless I can get the S1 for like, you know, $300. Oh my god, everybody with this Bamboo X1. It looks cool, but I really want to know how much they're paying everybody to talk about it, because it's a lot. It's like to the point where it's getting seen everywhere. It looks cool and it could be a good product, but I'm kind of ignoring it now at this point just because it's like, okay, how much money are you guys paying everybody to talk about it? I kind of wish they would contact us so I could be like, okay, this is how much they're paying everybody, because I like just talking about stuff that either I sell because we sell it, or stuff that I'm genuinely excited about and want to give an honest opinion on. So, all right, Third Eye says he's got a Series with a BL Touch. The board on the Series has to have a port for the BL Touch. Any workaround? So if you have a CR10S, sorry. If you have a CR10S, you probably have the 2560 board. Now you should. If you have a CR10S, that means it came with a filament sensor. And if you're buying a stock machine from Creality with a filament sensor, typically the CR10Ss came with a 2560 mega board. You would have to connect onto a set of I/O pins on the board, and that board does have, assuming you have the board, I'm assuming you have, because if it's an S model, it should have the 2560 base board. We do have it in our help center because God forbid Creality document their stuff for their customers. But you know, I just love picking up Creality's slack. Let's see. I know we have it somewhere here. It's on the Creality Mega 2560 dual board here. We used to sell these boards, but this is the same board, regardless if you have the dual extrusion version or not. If you look here, we got all these connections. And if we look here, here's how to connect your BL Touch to a Creality V2 board. Now, these boards typically came with a bootloader, so you can update the firmware over the USB. If for some reason you have the older 8-bit board, that is the 1284p CPU, you will have to burn a bootloader to it, which is kind of a pain. We do sell the tools to do that, which is a Arduino Uno with some jumper wires and software, which is all available on our website. But at this point, I think most people are just replacing the boards with a 32-bit one. So we have, for replacement boards, we've got 2 that would work with that. So we have the one I'd recommend, which is our own board. If you're looking to get some of the higher end, that's also really easy to use and is going to last a long time. We've got our EasyBoard V2 here, and we have these in stock ready to ship. And these come with 6 months of tech support and warranty. And we also have our Easy Firmware website, so you don't have to be compiling firmware on your own computer. You can use my computer to do it. If you want something a little bit cheaper, we do get stock on these. These are on order right now. But these are Creality's 427 board. These are 32-bit boards. These are cheaper than ours, but they also have much less memory. They're slower, but they are a good budget board. So if you don't want to drop 120 bucks on a board, we typically would have these range anywhere from 63 to 68. And unlike other companies, we actually check the processors before we stock these. So you know exactly what processor you're getting, because these boards have shipped with multiple different processors. And we not only make sure you get the processor memory you order, whether it's 256K or 512, we also make sure you actually get a genuine STM32 processor, because Creality also has shipped these and other boards with knockoff processors, and we will not sell the knockoffs. So, but yeah. So anyways, let me see. Anyways, so yeah, those would be the 2 boards. If you do have the 8-bit one, that's the 1284p, and you want to flash the bootloader, you would need, the way I flash them is with the Uno. We do carry the bootloader kits occasionally, but the silicon shortage has been affecting these as well. So these are out of stock, but if you have an Uno R3 and some jumper wires, whether you have it from a friend or whatever, you can follow the guide here and flash it. So this is if you have the older 8-bit board. It's not something I'd recommend. At this point, I would just replace the board. To be completely honest, just replace the board with a 32-bit. If you're going to go through the trouble of doing it, just replace it with a 32-bit, whether it's Creality's or ours. That's my thing. But if you have the first board I showed you, the 2560, then just update that one. That one's actually still a decent board. Yes, it's 8-bit, but it's a 256K of memory 8-bit board. It's not as limited. So, yeah, things are just like getting a little crazy here. So I'm going to try to wrap this up. Been a little overwhelming for me today with all the internet issues. Let's see. So let's see if there's any quick questions I can ask. I'll say this. So I see Marcus in the Anycube Cobra Max apparently closed firmware. If they tell you it's closed firmware, you tell them you guys don't have a choice and you can't determine it's closed because it's running Marlin. They have to give you the source code. End of discussion. If they don't give you the source code, they're violating the GPL license. And ask Creality and a couple other companies how that went last time. They were openly violating the GPL license by taking Marlin source code and not giving it out to their customers. Short story, they got boycotted and they eventually caved, and now we have source code for a lot of printers because myself and a bunch of other people started boycotting them, and people stopped buying their machines and started buying machines from companies that actually honored the license. According to the binary files that I've gotten for the Anycubic Cobra Max that someone sent me from Anycubic, you open it up, it's Marlin. So they can't tell you that it's closed source. They have to give you the source code. If not, they're in violation of license, and you guys should all spend your money accordingly. Which means don't buy printers from companies that are violating these open source licenses. That's what I mean. I'm not going to beat around a bush. If they're violating it, which is why I don't do anything with Tronxy, if I don't do anything with Tronxy, I don't do anything with Tronxy because they have, as far as I know, have never complied with the GPL license, and they've been violators for years. That's why you guys don't see anything from Tronxy on our channel. You know, it also just so works out that their products are garbage. But Anycubic, if you're listening, you guys have to give your customers the damn source code if they ask for it. You can't tell them it's closed source. You're running Marlin, you have to give them the source code. End of discussion. And I don't want to hear any complaints because Creality tried to play, when they were in the same situation, they tried to play the, oh, we're Chinese and we don't understand. It's like, no, you guys understand. You're being assholes. It's not a legitimate excuse. So, Tronxy is probably one of, if I had to give an award to the worst printer companies, it'd probably be Tronxy followed by Two Trees, and it'd be really hard for me to be like, who deserves it more? They both are pretty bad. But I feel like Tronxy is just, in terms of non-compliance with the GPL and quality of products, I feel like they just barely edge out Two Trees for the worst printer companies ever. So anyways, Vectrex at Isle of Man. Yes, I do. I'm sure you guys will be surprised to know I do actually ride motorcycles. I had two. I sold one to my buddy, but I do ride motorcycles, which I need to take it out now that it's actually sunny here. Anyways, would love to go see Isle of Man. And yes, that is a Vectrex that works. It just has the I think it's a negative 15 volt rail issue. We got to let it warm up because there's a Zener diode or something. I got stuff to fix it. I haven't done it yet. Anyways, anything else? Do I put maple syrup on my pancakes? Of course I do. Who the hell eats pancakes dry? John's asking about time release of the dual Z mount for the Inter 5 Pro. I want to at least get, I don't know if I'm just going to be like, hey, if anybody wants to buy these parts and piece together their own thing, I do that. I don't know if it's worth it. And we are going to be sending out a survey. I have it on Krista's to-do list to poll our customers and see who actually will still want to buy a dual Z kit for the Ender 5 or Ender 5 Pro, because that is something that I wanted to get released, but because of the timing, I started getting the parts in right when my ex-wife was planning a divorce completely behind my back and blindsided me. It derailed that whole project, and I've got boxes of parts that I had cut and machined that are for these kits, and they've just been sitting there, and it's just, they got, you know, pushed by the wayside because I had other stuff going on. But, you know, anyways, starting available at our home? No, it's not. Any reason not to order the Easy ABL Pro Micro versus larger sizes? Or you're calling it the Pico. I'm assuming you mean the Micro. Is there a 2-pack SKU for the Micro? There's not right now, because the Micro, we actually don't make as much on the Micro, even at the higher price, because they're very hard to, they're hard not for us to manufacture, but they're difficult to make, so they cost more, because they're so small. Now, if you guys caught the early part of the stream where we're talking about the new multi-mount system that we're working on, that's based around the machined aluminum part, we actually have some mounts that are doing what I envisioned for these tiny sensors that we came out with, is stashing them away in your hot mount so you barely even know they're there. But we do not have 2-pack SKUs for those. We might add those on later, but they will not be discounted as much as the other ones, just because we don't have as good of margins on them, and with prices being all over the place, and availability and inflation and all this other crap that, you know, because nobody knows how to run the world apparently anymore. I have to keep the lights on, and that means not discounting everything as much as I'd like to, sadly. So, but that could be a rant for another day. probably more suited well for my personal channel. But anyways, I'm sorry this stream was a shit show. We hopefully will be back in the old studio, so to speak. This is my auxiliary office that I use for more casual things and when I'm not soldering and stuff. Hi, dummy. Somebody wants to go OUT. But anyways, I will post some sneak previews of the new office setup in the Cult of TH3D Discord channel. So if you guys are not on there, let me know. All rant stream. A Fusion sneak preview. I think I have Fusion installed in here. I can do that. Hey, remote. Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't unplug. He's walking under the desk and he's pulling cords down. Can we not? I don't think we have dingo sticks. I was trying to answer questions and Krista, he's like, his nails tapping on the hardwood floor drive me nuts. So I was having a hard time focus. So I was like, I muted for a sec. I was like, can you get him out of here? Cause it's, I don't know if I'm sure you guys would be surprised. I have ADHD, so it's hard for me to focus on multiple things at once. So if the dog's nails are tapping on the floor and there's somebody doing something out of my peripheral vision, I get easily overwhelmed and distracted, and it's very frustrating. So, but I don't think I have any dingo sticks. But I will show some stuff from the multi-mounts. Let me log into my Autodesk account here. Tor, did you put that? Oh wait, that's we got those in the STL folders. I forgot about that. I thought we were, some of it's on Fusion, some of it's not. Let me pull this up. Where's Teams? The whole internet going out really kind of fucked me up here because I had my flow and then my flow got interrupted. Let's see. Oh, here's what Tor is talking about. Let's see. So this is a little render. This still has the Clemco branding, but like I said, we're taking over selling of these for Clemco and redoing all the stuff. So there we go. So this is what Tor has been working on putting together. If I'm correct, is this for the, I mean, this will work for all of the groove mounted adapters, but I think it's shown here, this is like either the V6 hot end or the, what is it, the Fadus one, the BMO. So this is a dual 5015 fan setup with the Easy ABL Micro stash in here, and you guys can see how tiny this is. And this is what I kind of envisioned for carrying these smaller mounts is us designing mounts that take advantage of the small size, and also community members making mounts that take advantage of the small size, because I just love the idea of having all these features and shoving it in, and you just don't see it. It's just there, it works, and it's not, you know, visually taking up a ton of space. Now, I don't mind looking at my probes, but, you know, I do also like a nice little compact setup. If that's your current setup, Tor, can you send a picture of your actual setup? I would like to see it. I will share. While we're waiting, though, I did just get this in. Do you guys make sure you have plenty of stock? Because I do now. Just got this in. While we're waiting for Tor to send a picture of his actual setup. It's amazing. And it does work with all 710 caps. So, and all ID10T managed systems. So, Tor, I want a picture. Tor. Picture. Let me see here. Oh, you know what? Here we go. It is kind of jank. Hey, Tor, your thing looks a little wibbly wobbly unless it's the angle. Hang on. I thought you had a better one. Oh, I do have another sneak peek here of something else that we totally forgot. If you guys have Ender 2 Pro, we are going to have adapter cables here to change out the board. So this will go from the stock 5-pin connector to your standard 4-pin motor connectors that you find on most control boards. And this is a wire if you want to ground it. So otherwise, you can just pull this out and not use it. There will be accompanying documentation, but this is also something that we literally have here in-house physically and is going to be released soon, like soon as in next week. Also, we're going to be retiring the power blockers at some point, and making our own cable version of it, that because people were complaining about the power blocker being like, you know, on the plug. So we made a little extension cable that does the same thing, so it's a little cleaner. Tor says check teams. There we go. Yeah, I see you tightened your sensor up. All right, here we go. Ready? There we go. What is that mount? I know he's playing with this. So here, this is what I'm saying. We've been designing a lot of mounts to do direct drive stuff with various mounts. I can't remember the name as you're going to say it. I'm going to know. But yeah, so this is I think this is ABS. Isn't this ABS Tor, or is this PLA? I know you were sending some of these with PLA. The Sherpa Mini, yes. So yeah, this is what the multi-mount is. So you got this nice solid all metal base to bolt all your crap onto, so the hot end doesn't shake, and everything's solid. And then all the parts that you'll get from us are all going to be printed in ABS. So, yeah. But I'm pretty excited. So this is like what we're going to be doing on our Ender 5 Plus, except I'm going to go and put a Mosquito on here. So I haven't decided if I'm going to put a micro on it or if I'm going to keep the 18mm, but yeah, it's a little sneak peek you can see here. Little adapter blocks here to put the direct drive setups on here. So this is the Sherpa Mini. We will have one for our Tough Extruder V2 and quite a few other ones. So there's a little sneak peek. So yeah. Anyways, I don't have any DINGO sticks. I'm gonna check the drawer. Hang on. Nope. Nope. We don't have anything. We got no snacks. We got no snacks. Mom took all the snacks. She took all the snacks. Come here. Come here. Come on. All right, everybody. Well, sorry about this crappy stream due to the the damn internet issues. So we will be back in the new location next week, and that'll be it. So sorry, Big Dummy. We'll have to give you a treat later. Yeah, I know. But an idea when the Tough Extruders will be back in stock? Tuesday. We'll have the new ones, the V2s. So Tuesday at the latest. If I get the documentation, the video done before then, it'll be sooner, but I want to release stuff once we actually have once we actually have all of it ready to go. I have the physical parts, I just don't have any documentation made. So but the new extruders, I'm very excited. They're dual gear, 3-to-1 gearing ratio still, but dual drive gears. They're really nice. And like everybody here likes them. I like them. Sean likes them. Tor, Mac, Peter, they all have them. And we've been printing with them for a little bit now, and they've been solid. So finally retiring the tried and true Titan design. So anyways, I will talk to you guys in the next one. And thanks for sticking around through all the ups and downs of the internet problems. And as always, happy printing. I will see you guys on the next one. Remo, what are you doing?